How is everybody doing? We're going to take a look at J.J. Cale, the Mercury years, on compact disc. All these discs were released in the late 80s. I remember buying them all, I think around 1990. I sold them all around 10 years ago, like a fool. But recently I started buying them back again. They're great albums, and if you like that kind of music, yeah, they're an essential collection. The first album was titled Naturally, and this was from 1972. Nobody really knew who he was at the time. He did engineer in some studios, and he was able to produce his own records. Did some drum machines on some of the tracks on this, because he couldn't afford a drummer. Guy was penniless. There's some nice tracks on this. Wouldn't be my favourite one. Eric Clapton covered After Midnight, and then everybody wants to know who Cale was. Magnolia is on it, it's a nice one. There you go, Mercury label. Really cool discs. Yeah. This one has Universal stamped on it, so this is a pretty recent pressing. Really, and this is from 1972 also. This is a pretty good one. I like this one. Lies, Everything Will Be Alright, I'll Kiss the World Goodbye. Yeah, some great stuff on this. The Oklahoma sound, as they call it. It's another modern pressing. You can see Universal. I would have thought by now that they would have remastered the catalogue or brought out a box set, but they didn't, unfortunately. But these sound good, these discs are good. Okie, this is from 1974, and I think it's probably my favourite J.J. Cale album. I love the artwork on the cover, some great tracks on this one. Yeah, really, really good tracks. Occasion Moon is on it. Crying, I'll Be There If You Ever Want Me. Starbound, Rock and Roll Records. I just love this. Tiny little bit of brass on it as well. It's got the Same Old Blues. That was covered by a few people. Again, Mercury. Universal in there. Really cool discs. Artwork is cool. Troubadour, this is from 1976. There's a lot more complex arrangements on this one. The use of pedal steel and stuff like that. Cocaine is on it. Again, Clapton covered that. Pretty mellow album. It's nice. Different from the other one. This looks like an older disc. Yeah, this has got nothing on it. It's quite old. You don't get much inside, you know. It's photographed. That's it. Nothing else. It's a pity that they didn't put more thought into the production notes and stuff like that. Number 5. This is from 1979. This is a good one. Sounds a little bit like Dire Straits' first album. Very clean guitars on it. Some great tracks. When I bought this originally on CD in 1990, track 10, Katie Cool Lady, was actually not the track, but instead you had a song called Out of Style. And I also have a vinyl pressing from the early 80s, and Out of Style is on that also, but it says Katie Cool Lady. So this copy I just picked up recently, potluck really, and in fact the original Katie Cool Lady is on it. So yeah, this one is error free. Again, it's Universal, so it's probably It's obviously a later day press, and Out of Style is actually on Rewind, the unreleased recordings that came out in the last, I think, 10-15 years ago or something like that. But this also sounds a little brighter. You know, there's more detail in the music. I just wonder if it has been remastered and stuff. It doesn't say, but definitely sounds brighter. I'm not sure. I don't have the original that I bought back then, so I don't know. Anyway, this is great to have this one, the correct track listing. Shades, this was recorded in 1980. I think it came out in late 80 or early 81. As you can see here, it's got the Chitan cigarettes off. I like this one. Carry On, Deep Dark Dungeon. Wish I had not said that. Pack My Jack. Some nice bluesy stuff in this. Cloudy Day. It's an instrumental. Yeah, I like this one. Produced by Audie Ashford, long-term producer. Yeah. Yeah, this doesn't have the Universal on it. It's one of the 90s pressings. Yeah, good album. Mellow, and I like it. Grasshopper was released in 1982. Quite slick, warm, slick production. Radio friendly as well. City Girls. I can imagine the Eagles singing that. Devil in the Skies, One Step Ahead of the Blues. Yeah. A couple of instrumentals on it, I think, yeah. Dr. Jive, anyways. But it's yeah, it's a nice album. Sounds a little bit 70s, even though it's in the 80s. Yeah, it's Universal. But the lyrics are in this and everything, yeah. But it's not a bad album, and I like it. And finally, number 8. This was released in 1983. His last one for Mercury. There is also a greatest hits, but you don't really need that. I had it at one stage. I sold it. There's nothing on it that you don't have on these albums. This one is a little colder sounding. The guitars are a little bit more distorted. Money Talks, yeah. Sounds a little bit tired. He kind of gave up after this for a long time. He didn't release another album until 1989. Travelogue, which contains recordings from the 80s up to 1989 when he released it. But Taking Care of Business, that's a great track. I like that one. The whole band are in that. He names out the band. Unemployment, Trouble in the City, Teardrops on My Tequila. Sounds like a good little 70s sounding one, yeah, but it's a bit cold, not as enjoyable as the others, and I guess he probably copped that as well. So yeah, that's it. That's JJ Cale on Mercury, 1972 to 1983. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe and take care.